Greetings, family. Welcome back to another episode of Through the Looking Glass. I am your amazing host, Key, the Freak Show Babe and Starseed Oracle. For today's insightful, intuitive messages, I have for you the understanding and also the remembrance, the reminder that growth in itself and expansion can and usually is a painful process. This message comes as a reminder to understand that on your journey towards a higher timeline, towards your life purpose, towards the things that you are working to manifest in your life, it is going to require that you question everything, and things that aren't aligned will need to be removed. And with this comes the additional understanding that if you are holding on to things very tightly, Spirit has a definitive and unique way of moving through you and shaking those thoughts, those unaligned ideas, those old, outdated societal norms from your grasp and forcing you to just basically let it go. When you let these things go, it is painful. It can be painful. It feels like you're losing something. But in the process of expansion, you're removing things and making space while also being expanded. Like your horizons are being expanded, your mind is being expanded, your heart is being expanded. There's so many things that are happening at once during this growth process when you're on the cusp of gaining new insight, a new spiritual awakening, a new level of spiritual understanding, just a new level in life. It may feel like you're spiraling or losing everything, but the spirals in this process, the circle backs to situations you thought were over, are just opportunities for you to look at them at a new level. So usually when we think about a spiral, most people remember the labyrinth, and it's usually a stone path and it's on the ground. But in the ascension process, the spiral actually moves upwards. So when you were on, the top level of the spiral, you have to spiral down or go towards the center of a labyrinth, and then you work your way out. And with the same concept, if you think about a spring, almost not a water spring, but like a little metal spring, when you went down the spiral, down the rabbit hole, gained some knowledge, met your inner demons, met your shadows, saw people's masks fall off, saw things in life and your situations as they really were, you gained insight and you gained knowledge and you gained wisdom. And now that you're ascending upwards and out of that spiral, you are also gaining new opportunities to take a look at previous situations from a new set of eyes, from a higher level of understanding, and in order to gain more wisdom, because you're going to need even more wisdom where you're going. So this ascension process and this expansion process, it feels sometimes like an accordion where you're being stretched to the capacity and then like shrunk back down to such a small size again, only to feel like you're being like stretched yet again beyond capacity. The most important thing you can do for yourself at this time is to give yourself grace to accept the things that you are seeing, accept the lessons, acknowledge the growth, and also keep looking forward to where you're headed and not lose hope and continue holding the vision that things are always working out for your highest and greatest good. This, I feel, is one of the most important things to be reminded of during this time, because the energies are very chaotic, feeling during an expansion process and a growth process, and the pain and the emotions and the purging and all the things that come with it also can be met, or sometimes are also met with feelings of bliss or compassion or feelings of love, understandings, gratefulness, gratitude, and all the things that sandwich themselves in between this process. So if you're in a chaotic state and you're purging, emotionally purging, and you're emotionally clearing, and you find yourself feeling like these emotional clearings are happening more frequently, whether each week you're making new changes or at sometimes each day there's new revelations and new levels of understanding, this is your reminder or notice that you are almost to completion of certain things. You're almost at the end of certain cycles, and you are pretty much basically in the new timeline that you've worked towards, the new vision, the new life. There's just still a little bit of clearings to finish those final threads. And so if you can remember when you started a new job, or you started a new school when you were a kid, or a new activity, new sport, or anything, when you start something new, it's exciting, but it's also scary. You have doubts about whether or not you can hold or do the thing that you're being aligned and called to do. And so this is just your reassurance this week that yes, you can do the things. Yes, you are on the right track. Keep going, and remember that you are loved and divinely guided and always supported. Okay, guys, that is my time. I will talk to you in the next one. Toodles.